Hi guys, Dave in Texas here, and what you're looking at is a treat, okay? This is a Gypsy, right? They call them Gypsies, like a Django Gypsy. I think it's the same scale too, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a handmade guitar by the owner. He made it 3 years ago per his specifications and him building it. It's not a kit guitar, it's him building the guitar, and it's a labor of love, okay? And what I've got to do today is set this up for him. He said he doesn't do the measuring, he doesn't do the setups on him. He just kind of built this. He's been playing it for 3 years, which I don't blame him. I'd be playing it too a lot. But he's got silk and steel cords on this, strings, which is new to me. Normally these Gypsies have, well, it's not even to my scales here. Normally these Gypsies have 3 nylons on them, or 2 or 3 plastics on them, and it's bronze wrapped, okay? Or they do a bronze acoustic on them to get that volume out there, right? Now some of the neat things I want to point out before I take these strings off to you is that this is a custom bridge, right? And this is a cut saddle. He's cut into this. It needs some adjustment to it. He's been using these guitar picks as shims, which is not a good idea, but you know, it's his design, his guitar. And this DB tail end piece is kind of cool. If you look real closely, you'll see not only does it use loops for the strings. Oops, too much. It uses loops. You go over the barrel. These barrels also have holes in them, right? So you can loop it over, right? Or just put them through, like this one down here on this E string. Hold on. So you did with this metal E string to replace that because it's broken the set. Right? Oh man. So let's just take you down this guitar. Now of course it needs to be cleaned up. It's not been cleaned up. And it needs a good cleanup on it. Right? But look at that finish on this. I love these kind of finishes, guys. It's nice and it's subtle. Okay, it's not high plastic glassy looking shit. This is a nice made guitar, and he has some compound angles on this guitar, like on the heel of his guitar, to make it easier to play. And I'll have to ask him what scale this is, but look at here, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I'll have to ask him what kind of wood it is too. But he's got a custom made 1, 2, 3 piece neck. I'll show you that real quick. And it's cut the very specific shape that he likes to play, right? So there's your first at the heel, right? Scarf joint. And here's your split end joint. And it's 2 different types of wood, it looks like, or at least from different lots. You see that? And his neck is flat here. It's a very flat D-shaped neck that these guitars, you know, really need because they're so wide, you know. But if you look at this, it's not as wide as a typical Spanish or acoustic. It has got the ebony fretboard on it. It's really dirty, but it's not as wide. It's the same width as other guitars are. I have to measure that too, guys, get that all down. But look at the sound hole on this thing. You think, oh, it's not big enough. Guys, this thing puts out volume like you would not believe. And when he comes back, I'm going to play it for you. That thing will put out some volume, I damn guarantee it. Alright, now first things first, you know how it works in my shop. We're going to get these old strings off here and cut them free. And then we're going to clean up that board for him because it really needs to be clean. It's got some thick, dirty stuff on it that hopefully, gosh, I'll show you when I get the strings off. But hopefully when we get down to it, that oil will get it off. If not, I can use some warm water and get it off with a little bit of scrubbing and some paper towels, okie dokie. So, first things first, let's get the strings off of it. I'll loosen these up before I cut them, so no blowback. Alright. Because this has got a different type of a setup on it, guys. The open face on this can cause a problem if you cut these strings under tension, because they'll just fly right back at the guitar or you. Depending who they're mad at. Okay. And it's got these wrapped kind of funny. I don't know why I did this, but he's a guitar builder. And it looks like the Lone Star Guitar is the name of his brand. I have to check on that as well. But he's used some really good hardware on here. All this stuff I'll check on for you, let you know what he's used and how he's done this. And let him speak about his guitar and the woods that he chose and why. Alright, so this is going to be a good little video for y'all. Alright, should be very interesting. As well as, I wish this was a open type interview or setup where I could actually have y'all be able to ask questions of this guy, because he's a builder. He builds guitars. Now, maybe this is the only ones he's ever built. I'm not sure. I have to ask him. He's going to have to get some strings that actually will fit on his guitar the way he wants it. Now, he didn't want the nylons. He didn't want the regular acoustics. He wants steel and silk, okay? Well, that just takes a little bit more than I usually have here at the shop. I don't usually run into a Gypsy guitar that often. That's why I'm really psyched right now. I'm really stoked, if you know what I mean. But man, oh man, oh man, I just wanted to show that you'll look at this for a while. And the detail he's gone to work on this. This is a labor of love. Alright, now he's glued these down. But this bridge is separable, okay? And let's make sure we can tell which one's front and back, and we can, okay, because of the thickness of the strings. That'll help a lot. Alright, let's go ahead and get the strings off of it and show you the cleanup on the neck we're going to have to do. Because, brother, it is really dirty. Okay, so you see what I got to work with here, guys. This is really years of old dirt that's encrusted on this thing. So what I'm going to do is just take a very light cleaner and clean this off. Now, normally you use cigarette lighter fluid, naphtha to get this stuff off, but I don't want to go that rough on these guitars, I just want to use something that'll just clean them up, oil them back up, protect them. But I gotta get that dirt off there first. And the last thing I want to do is have to shave a guitar, because the dirt's on there so thick. But, it comes down to it, it's gotta come off. Oh man, it's on there thick. You can see what I'm trying to work with here. Some of it's coming off. The majority of it should come off. Now we'll leave, some indentions on it, but that's no big deal. That's just play through. You know how the fretboard does wear, that's just one part of it. Let's get all this dirt off here. And that is just going to take a little bit of rubbing, a little TLC, and not use anything abrasive on this. But next thing we do, guys, we go through here and take a scale, just a flat scale, and check the next kind of relief it has off any. We also take off the excess oil that's on here right now. And also, we do a polish up with the Nomad spray. Alright, not oil, sorry. We don't wax these guitars on a setup, we just polish them up. Alright? Big difference. No waxing, just quick polish. Okay? We'll start off by getting this head done, because it is just dirty, dirty. Clean back up again. And let's see, get down inside that thing too. Get the outside. Just kind of just give it a quick whisk. Get that dirt off of it. Get that logo nice and shiny again. I'll make sure you see that logo. It's pretty nice that he's done this. There you have it. See that? Lone Star guitar. Pretty nice. And it looks kind of wonky enough to be actually wood that he's put in there. Separate pieces of wood. And if that is, that's some hellacious work, guys. I mean, that is a master craftsman at his best. and he deserves your applause. He also deserves your awe and wonder and amazement at his skills. This is a guitar god. He makes guitars. Now, just repairs them like I do. You know, I can make them. I made a few in my lifetime. I never kept them. I gave them away as presents. Okay. Okay, guys. I just got to removing the linseed oil on there and explained to the owner why we use linseed oil and not lemon. And it's understandable once you know it gets explained to you. So that also does it. Now, if you're looking at this, it's in perfect shape. I mean, the frets do not have hardly any wear on whatsoever. When did you build this guitar?
About 3 years ago.
3 years? How much did it cost you to build this, if you don't mind me asking? About how much?
Probably about $3 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't counting, I mean...
Your time and hours, right?
Right. It was 3 weeks, but no, I mean, I paid a guy to help me.
Okay, so
I had a good mentor, Michael Collins. He's got videos on how to build a Selmer.
Yeah.
He's got plans that you can buy.
Sure.
And all that good stuff. So I was actually in his garage, you know, doing all this stuff. And I'd never done binding like this. So
you did an excellent job on that.
That was a real, yeah.
I do the repairs on this binding. I don't actually do them. I just do the repairs so they break, you know?
That's going to be a mess if it ever goes.
Oh man, look at this, guys. The details on this, it's just unbelievably pretty. I mean, sure, it doesn't add to the tone, but overall, it just makes the guitar just beautiful and more valuable too.
Right.
Now, I got a question for you. Why didn't you bind the neck?
Why didn't I bind the neck?
Is this because it's not tradition?
Didn't see the need for it.
Okay. So I was wondering why these frets are so sharp on this thing.
The neck ever goes, or if you ever do anything with it, you know.
Wow.
You just have to spend a lot of money on something that you're going to replace. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It does need to have those frets polished down, you know, as far as file down, because they're getting sharp.
Yeah.
And the reason why they're doing that is because as the board dries out, the fret gets exposed.
Right.
You know, especially down here.
And these are like...
I'm sure it didn't start out sharp.
These are 0 frets. The tangs only run to about 30 inches out, 30 mils out, and then they just set right on top.
Perfect. I love those types.
Yeah, that was my... I hadn't heard of it, so learning to do it was a really nice stroke.
Yeah, I used to cut mine like that, you know.
Well, most folks will just saw all the way across, but, you know, we had a CNC, and we just cut them, you know, short, so you could do that. Yeah.
The only thing is, with a fret nipper, you end up with a little bit of a nub, so you have to go back and hand file it then, which takes extra time, but yeah, it's much
well worth it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just like that. That's why it's not bound, you know.
Well, it's also why it's not sticking out. Those tangs are deep inside.
It looks like it's bound, you know.
Yeah, it does. It does look like that. That's just the board, guys. But the thing is, it's sharp on the edges. Now, if it had tangs, normal tangs, those would be sticking out right now and really cut you.
But you can.
But this is 3 years ago you built this?
Yeah, I'm getting me an angle so I can come down the edges. I just don't have one yet. A couple of things I need to get as a luthier. So.
Gotcha. Well, I've got one. If you want to use it, I'd rather you do it than me, because I know what this guitar is worth, and I don't want to screw anything up. You know how to use one?
Yeah, I've done a couple. But,
would you like to do it?
Sure, if it's.
And you know what you're doing, right?
You got a couple of edges.
Okay, hang in there. I'll get you on.
Got a good 30 on here.
Yeah, it's good. Just keep it flat, and don't take it that far.
Right.
We'll do that. We're gonna do that by hand. Yeah. No, don't go that far down, dude. Don't go all the way down here.
Grabbing down. Yeah, I know.
You're pressing on this.
Hanging down.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Nice and flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the whole idea.
Go ahead.
Just go with some pressure.
Yeah, just pressure and flat. Pressure and flat. It's doing it.
Yep. Yeah, when you get into this stuff, you don't realize how much junk there is, peripheral stuff.
Oh yeah, there's tons of tools, guys.
You can never have enough clamps. So every time you see them on sale, pick some up.
Oh Anytime you see them go out of business, stop in and grab what they've got.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of difference.
Better.
Yeah,
that's better.
That's a lot of difference. Well, that's enough for now.
Okay. Now these, you got to use an individual file over the wood. You don't want to do that to it.
No.
Okay, so we just got to discussing bones in particular. And what we're going to do, since this thing's been dry for a while, we're going to test his guitar. And what we want to hear is a click, click. Like that, click, click. Never a clunk, clunk. And what we do, we test it in 3 spots on the fret. Make sure there's not a void underneath there. Now, if we find a void, there's a special tool we use. We put super glue on the end of that tip. It's like a nib of a fountain pen. Alright, that's because we're over the body. That's not a clunk. It does change tone. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to clean up and erase, basically, his frets for him, so they're nice and clean and slick. And what we do, we start off with an abrasive eraser and finish up with polishing erasers. Okay? So he ends up with frets that no longer have those little micro abrasions in them that you can feel with certain strings, or you take your fingernail and let the weight of your finger actually do this, right? And take it across there and you'll feel it. The little micro abrasion right there, I felt one, right? Beep, beep, beep. But you can't push down, you won't feel it. You just gotta let your weight of your finger do the job. And those will go away. And yeah, they're tiny and small, but they all add up. And believe it or not, when you do this, and you finish it up, this guitar feels better when you play it. And most guitars will tell me, hey, that thing feels slick now, that's really good. I never knew that. And it does help. Okay, so.
And the Gypsies are real prone to that. I mean,
oh yeah.
They're like driving on ice, man.
Now it won't take out the cowboy chord marks or the indentions into the fret. That's metal, and you need a file to do that with, and preferably a diamond file, so you don't have to work so hard, right? But we'll go with like 4 strokes, okay? Get them polished up, and this is the abrasive part, and then go back over them with a polishing eraser and polish them up. Of course, I'm not going to bore you all the tears, guys. I'll cut away. Okay, so now to the polishing part. We'll take our polishing eraser out and finish the polish up. And you should see some shine, but you probably won't see it. I can see it, but you won't. It may look gray to you, but that's shiny to me. And this does the trick. And we're going to do a few more and cut away. And the next thing we do, we check everything and get his levels correct. Make sure his neck is straight and go from there. Okay, so we're going to cut away and come back. Okay guys, this is what we got. Authentic acoustic Martin string-a-roonies. Now they're explaining to you about his tailpiece, how it works, right? And we'll start out with an E. And let's see, this is 47. It's on the lightweight side, but there you be. Alright? So here we are. We're going to string this up for him. And of course, the main thing is, he's sitting right here. So it's like, how do you want these strung up? Right? Like a typical classic guitar or just like a folk guitar?
That's a fair question.
Well, a classic guitar, especially on the nylon parts, you go in there and form a little loop that looks like this, and the string comes through it, right? Looks like this, comes through it. Folk, you just wind it around, it's like you would any other guitar.
Right, that's traditionally how I do it.
Okay,
but
perfect.
On the other end, you know, it's
what?
I mean, when you said loop, I was thinking of the looped ends.
Oh no!
But see, when you buy Argentines or Suarez, you know, they give you that option of going either way.
Gotcha. Stop that! These little monsters? Oh, hold on, dude. I know what they want. Okay, so what we got here, he built himself one with a 0 nut on it. So basically, the only thing, sorry, zero fret, which is a fret right, past the nut. Now the nut is just there to keep the string in its position, so the spacing is correct. Okay, you go ahead and explain to him about a 0 fret.
Well, a 0 fret is basically, like Dave said, you're eliminating the nut altogether. It's just strictly for spacing, because you've already got a fret there. So it's gonna, whenever you push down to put your finger on the string, it's gonna go ahead and act like a nut, the 0 fret. So that way you get a true tone on either side of it, and you just can't beat it. It's not that popular of a deal, but it does. You do have to, when you're measuring your neck, you have to compensate.
Oh yeah.
Because that is where your whole count starts from. If you're measuring a 24/5 or something, yeah, you have to start at that point, not back at the
nut. Yeah,
nut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we space his bridge down, and we adjust it down here at the back, right? We'll go from this point here. Sorry, this point here on the 0. And then do the proper spacing, is what he calls it, scale for it, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get this thing up and running.
And basically the height of the string.
Oh yes, oh yes.
You want a straight point from the top of the bridge to the top of the 0 fret, so not the nut.
Okay, so guys, what we're going to do, same with always, we're going to go up about 1 extra, right? Bring it back. I thought I'd done this already. Don't be hard on me, guitar. Okay, bring it back. Ease. Let's go from the top. Easier. Come here, baby. Bring it back this far. Man, it is tight in there too. Then do the wrap over the top of the string, right? Not below it. Pull that tight. Now we tighten the string over it because we counter wrap it, all right? So this goes over. Isn't that what you do yours?
Mm-hmm.
And what you want to make sure to do is each consecutive little circle, or each little loop. Oh man. Goes over, goes under the next one, right? And I think I should add some more space to that. Let's cut this. So now mommy's home, right? Finally. What am I hitting there, dude? Am I on this? No, I'm not. That's out of position. Yeah, bring it. Give me that. What he's done though, he's actually glued the 2 side ports of that, so it's always perfectly in position. Okay. It's just a little awkward.
Well, it's close. If you just need to intonate, you can actually move the bridge.
Yeah. Okay. Here's your shims.
Yeah.
Now I've got wood in there, shims. You want to put wood in there instead? Make it,
Yeah,
not.
that'd be nice.
All right, hold on a second.
Just strings.
Oh, come on, darn it.
That's the only reason I have thin picks.
Gotcha.
Back down.
Here we are. Oh shit, I forgot. See if that's too thick. I think it may be too thick. Yeah, line them up, see if that's right. This piece may be thinner, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's pretty thick.
Try that maybe thinner. That's the only shims I got right now, damn it, I forgot about that.
That's actually pretty close.
What, honey? What? Come on out.
Alright, I'll bring this up.
Alright. Okay. Is that good?
I'll just use the others. These would have to be sanded.
Well, how much though?
It's
A
not
lot or
much.
not much?
It's not much.
Alright, well, you know what
We
we got over here?
we can use it.
You know
if
what
you
we
want
got
to
over
cut it
here?
out.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I tell you what, I got a saw here. You want to cut a piece off?
Yeah.
I tell you what, you mark it first, we'll sand it, right? And then we'll do that, okay?
Okay.
So, here's a pen.
I'm just kind of looking to see where that pick went.
Yeah. Mark a spot on the end of it so I can sand it down some, and then we'll cut it. Yeah. You can do 2 picks if you want to, and sand those. Yeah, there you go. Just mark you a shape that we can use, but keep it together so we can sand it with our hands.
All right.
Huh, we're still on camera.
I want a nice fast edge.
38, Martin.
Yep.
He's talking about the custom tusk he had done for, or what is it, mammoth tusk?
Yeah.
Ivory.
Yeah.
He's got done for his guitar pick. And trust me, every little bit on acoustic changes that tone. And I guarantee you, using that ivory he's using on the pick does make a difference compared to plastic on that.
Oh yeah. It's a lot faster, it's a lot smoother, and it just makes it project. That's where the whole deal with Gypsy jazz guitars, they call the rhythm the pump. So you want it to pump, and with these guitars you always think of pumping air, but in this it's referring to the rhythm, and so you got to pump out a steady time.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, I'll come back to this right about here. Out of there so I can wrap it. And what we do, we counter wrap it so it'll hold in place when we tune it up. You wrap it in the same direction, it'll just come loose. Okay, and never pull tight. So, I hope you can see this. This is awkward as can be, try to get this in there.
You want me to take it?
I think I got it. Let's see.
There you go.
And always go over, not under. And make sure you go over each consecutive, go under each consecutive loop on this shaft. And this one I think slipped on me because we're going to end up with more.
There you go, climb the top.
Okay, so that's awful tight now. Let's tighten up some more, just for kicks and giggles. With this one, we ended up with quite more. Loops. So we'll cut it short on the short side, which means just the right edge right there. Go any lower, you can't change that string's tone up, and you can't remove the string and put it right back in again if you want to.
Yes.
That's too wide. Wow, that is just,
Oh, this is a shim.
yeah. That's too thick, way too thick, I think, but maybe not, you know. Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Yeah, it's like twice as much. We'll finish that up and sand it again.
Yeah.
Get a piece of tape and hold it against the sander.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. Next string. Got 28. The next one goes on is a 23. Okay. And this is when they start getting thin on you, and you don't need to pull them out as long as before because the diameter changes. So you don't have to take it like 2 tuners up. You do it a tuner and a half or less, and still get a minimum of 2 to 3 wraps on that thing. You know, some people will speed wrap their guitars. You know, I don't go for that at all. And they got like 1.5 wraps around it. They do a tie through the hole again. I think that's a mistake. I think I just go ahead and just wrap it, you know, put more wraps on it, depending upon that. Okay, so we're going to go about that far out, if you can see what I'm doing. And of course you can't. Crap. Okay, so we're going to go about this far out. All right, see my fingers? Still can't see them. About that far out. Come back and counter wrap it, okay? Like this. Okay. And the same thing, wrap it over it. Right, wrap that nice and tight, counter it. That's against the flow of the go. Now these, when they get thin like that, you want to hold on to them because of the material they're made out of. Because they want to flop right back, you know? And that's what you don't want. So when I get this thing start going, I'll pull on the pressure now and get it, right? To keep that little loop under this next row. See, now I got, okay, now I got 2 full wraps on it with the string out of the way. And I don't want to capture that string in there. I want that to be free, like that. Oh, baby. So now I got 2 full wraps, or actually 2.5 wraps.
That's good.
Is what I want. All right, I'll cut that from below again. I'll flip the guitar over. Okay, so 2.5 wraps. I can drop that down a full wrap. Yeah, where it doesn't play anymore, but you could drop tune it if I want to. That's what you want when you do these wraps like this. But if you're on stage, you don't want to do them this many times, especially these E strings. That's the E and the B are the ones you're going to break the most. And this is the one I love to do because this E string, I've broken more E strings doing it, especially with that little jewel tool of mine. And the world's worst are the strings like these that are wrapped, okay? I've had no luck doing these. So, if you don't mind doing it, I'm going to turn it over to you.
I don't mind doing it.
Cool. Because these are a match set, and I damn guarantee you I don't have one to match it. And it will play different than one that's not matched to it. Like that one you had in there, it wasn't matched.
Right, right.
Yeah. Okay, here you go. How you want to do this? Like this or upside down or what?
Well, this is
If you want the camera out of the way, just tell me.
No, that's fine. Let's see. See, this kind of wrapping stuff, it's all kind of new to me.
Well, as long as you got enough space.
I've got
and
that.
what you do, see, it's going to go over this way, so what you do this.
Right.
If I can get my hands
So do
to
you
do
come
it.
back up through?
Come
But
back
you don't come back up
not
through
the hole. No.
Yeah, over here.
Can you get it in there?
Of course.
You can't see it. Where is it? Yeah. And you pull it tight against the counter wrap. And everything else, you know, this goes below. Sorry, let go of that, yeah. Everything else goes below it now. So what you do, you tighten it up, right? This way. Let's just get it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold that up and away. Hold that up and away.
Well, it's. I gotta get
already
back
capture
on the
it?
other side. No, it's down.
Okay.
It's just the way those strings line up. So
Okay.
I need to get back on this side of that string, so it can.
Okay, here we go.
Hang on a second. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, let's keep it below its wrap. And see how it's going each consecutive wrap? After the second wrap, doesn't make any difference. You're up or above or whatever. And that's as tight as you want to get it. Right?
Yeah, that's probably more tight.
Well, the wrapper, you know.
We're not in the notch. There you go.
Yeah, and with the wrapper though, that's as tight as you want to get it.
Right.
Yeah, next by hand. Yeah. Okay, so let's clip that one off short. All right. Let's flip it over. Cut these extras off here. Making sure not to get anything on the wood. And you cut it level with the hole, where it barely pokes out. See, like that?
That's perfect.
That way you can still grab it if you have to. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, just got to setting up his beautiful little, Gypsy guitar. Tell us about your guitar. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mike Bobbitt. I'm with Lone Star Luthiers. I work out of Rowlett, Texas, out of Dallas. I build handcrafted guitars. I don't do repairs. I build acoustics, electrics, and all things in between. So if you've got a good idea for body style or something like that, talk to me, and there's nothing that's not doable.
Cool.
I've built. This is.
That's an example of it's work, guys. It's amazing.
Not a flat top. If you'll notice, there's arches all over it. There's arches this way, that way.
Oh yeah.
And wherever you look, the back is arched. This is a traditional Selmer build. If you're not familiar with Selmer in the 30s, they built laminates. So if you see a Brazilian one, it's just a laminate. It's just a coating. If you notice that the wood on the interior is more like a mahogany, it's not going to be the koa that you see on the outside. There's actually a strip of pear in between it. So it's just all glued together. I built this with a fellow named Michael Collins. He lives and works out of Arizona, and he used to be in Texas, and that's where I spent 3 weeks in his garage building this guitar.
You did an excellent job, dude. That is beautiful, just beautiful.
Made a traditional gypsy neck, which is almost like a classical style.
Yeah.
The nut has 3 parts because that's the way Selmer did it.
Yeah.
And, they don't do that today.
Now compare that neck to like a standard classical neck. It's thinner, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little thinner, but it's not wide either. It's really shaped for speed.
Yes. Yes.
And it's just like
the Django Reinhardt's, right?
Yeah. This is what Django Reinhardt actually played in the 30s when you hear him with Stefan Grappelli in the Hot Club of France. So it's quite a project. I could have probably built a Harley in my sleep. It's been a lot easier than building the bracing. It has ladder bracing, and they all have to be arched. So you have have to have the right jigs. I have all the jigs to do this. I can build the D-hole, the grand bouche, and this is the petite bouche. This is more of a lead guitar instrument.
Yes.
This is a 14 fret. You notice that we have a dot at 10, which is traditional gypsy. European, it's actually taken because they built a lot of banjos too. So the Americans decided that we wanted symmetry. So we would normally have a 9 there. So when you're learning to play these with the 10th fret, it really teaches you not to know where you're at as far as watching and knowing. You know more with your ear where you are. And gypsies look for a bark. And they play up against the bridge.
Yeah, that's got it. That sounds just like them. Yeah, notice he's behind the sound hole too. That does make a big difference.
See the reverb you get there, as opposed to. Now you can play this like a regular country guitar, but it's it's made for these funky gypsy chords.
Oh yeah.
Like that was Jangology, which is. That's just a typical Jangology. That was a song that he wrote, you know, because that was kind of his signature tune.
Yeah.
Another one is Nuage.
Explain to him about the bark. Explain to him about your bark when you're playing it. You know.
Well, that's just the whole timbre of it. It's not a clear. It's not a clear. It sounds more like a.
More of a snap.
Yeah,
More of a snap.
But that's what you look for. And if you check out any of the current players like Stokolo, Rosenberg, Borelli, Legren, Angelo DeBar, these guys are just shredders.
Yeah.
So if you want to see somebody that just speeds across the neck, like, you know, you think of Metallica or somebody that's just shredding the guitar, these guys are masters. And they're doing it at jazz at 240 beats per minute. It's just incredible to watch these guys. Of course, Gypsy jazz is based a lot on the arpeggio. The backing rhythm. Very rarely see a gypsy player with just one guy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You gotta have somebody playing the rhythm.
Somebody's gonna rock over castanets.
Anyway, this guitar is about 3 years old, and the top has finally started to open up. It's it's actually Port Orford cedar, which is used for bows, so it's very strong and very flexible. It's kind of unique. You can't find it everywhere, but there's some boys in Port Orford that will go cut one down and make you a log to make you a neck or.
Now that's because of the humidity and salt around there, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
very much so. So it's soaked it all in. It's like a cedar. It's got a natural resin content to it. So it takes a long time to dry out. It takes a long time to open up. But this guitar has gone from a great guitar to amazing.
Oh, it is amazing.
If you know the projection, like. Think of a Martin Dreadnought or something, this thing is every bit as loud. It will kill a banjo.
Oh, it's louder than Martin Dreadnought. See,
oh yeah.
What they can't tell on camera is that the camera's audio will clip it, okay? Because this thing is very loud, guys. You won't hear it on your thing unless you turn your volume up, but it's very loud, but my camera clips it so it don't overpower the audio.
And with Dave's setup, it really sounds amazing. So thanks a lot, Dave. I'm really impressed with the work that you've done. I know that there wasn't a whole lot to be done, but I just would like folks to see these things.
Oh,
they're amazing guitars. If you're a guitar player and you've never played one, you're just cheating yourself.
Really? Now, how do they get in touch with you? Your phone number, or at least your email address?
I'm on Facebook at Lone Star Luthier. My name's Mike Bobbitt. spelled like Bobbitt. They can contact me there. My phone number is 214-642-5449. I'll be happy to take any questions you have, and if we want to design you one, no problem.
Now, I know you don't want to sell it, but how much would a guitar like that cost exactly like that? I know it's one of your best ones, but
with all this,
all the binding and everything,
fancy binding, and this is piece of koa. It's a $75 piece of koa.
Oh, I know.
So
I know.
Probably about $3 grand.
No, that's cheap.
Yeah,
guys, believe it or not, that's cheap.
Yeah, I can go more or less. It just depends on the time. You know how.
What kind of wood you want, everything else.
Right. If you want an Engelmann spruce or something, it's going to take time. Or find a nice piece of Adirondack. You know, that's just going to up the price. And the Port Orford cedar is my preferred. It's nice and warm. And
it does an excellent job.
Yeah.
And that sound is just absolutely just bounces out of there, guys.
It's great. I mean, for that little hole, you wouldn't expect it would be muted, but no, not at all. This thing's made to drive it. So
they knew what they were doing. Oh, man. All right. Well, thanks very much for letting us work on that and get a chance to explain what you do and everything. Guys, you want one custom made, this is a man to go to.
This is I've learned from the best. Michael Collins is one of the great American builders, and he works at Fender now.
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
As far as Gypsy Jazz, he's got CDs and stuff like that on how to build one. But I've got all the jigs already. I've got everything in place.
Oh,
so
yeah, trying to build your own. Good luck.
You'll not get the bracing right now.
Yeah, you need somebody there to help you. Anyway, any questions? Give me a holler. David, Texas. Bye. Say bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you.